Hey, I'm Ben Silverio.
And I'm Rachel Granda-Gluski.
And I'm Ansel Burch.
And it's
Time to party!
This month's episodes on Kate and Leopold were recorded on April 30th of 2023. We are not doctors. We don't give medical advice. Please drink responsibly.
Well, we are joined by my very good friend and Ben's occasional friend, I'm assuming. Yeah. Probably going to cut that bit.
We're joined by mortal enemies.
Yeah, they hate each other. It's amazing we got them in the same room.
Are we in the same
Ever
room?
since the
It's
incident.
podcast, they'll never know.
That's true. Don't tell them we recorded this asynchronously. Just cut it together so it sounds like you had a conversation. It'll be great. It'll be great.
Really, I'm just talking to a wall.
But no, this is Rachel Granda-Gluski, my great friend.
Today's bonus bloopers episode will feature an extended conversation from episode 3. Why? Because there was just too much material that had to get cut out that was, in fact, quite edutaining.
Party people, thank you for coming back to episode 3 of our, I was going to say deep dive, but it's not a very deep dive at all.
Shallow wade around.
I feel like it's even shallower than our normal...
Puddle jumping?
This one might get deep. I don't know.
This is our puddle jump into Kate and Leopold.
Oh, yes, that.
For the month. We are joined, as you know, if you've been listening to the podcast all month, we're joined by Rachel.
The inimitable Rachel.
Yep, I'm here.
Yep. Present.
Yes, we gave you some excellent drinking and smoking rules so you could rewatch the movie. We talked about the movie itself, gave our review, told you if it was worth your time or not.
Yeah.
Yep, that's about how it goes. And now
You didn't unsubscribe, and now here you are.
And now here you are, and we thank you for being here for our third episode, edutainment. I did the hand gesture.
It was elegant.
Truly, yeah.
But when I did the hand gesture, I got stopped by a pile of DVDs. So it's like,
At least you didn't knock your beer over.
I mean, that's true. That would have been very bad.
Could have been worse. I mean, it's a Beck, so it could have
That's
been
how
better.
I feel trying
too.
to do yoga in my living room. There's always like a cat or
Oh, I
a
thought you were
coffee
gonna
table in the way.
I thought you were gonna say when you're trying to do yoga while drinking.
Actually, my yoga teacher did do a couple drunk yoga classes
Cool.
where she'd be like, and then upward facing dog and take a sip.
Nice. See, that's very relaxing.
It is really hard to balance while drinking, though. So it was actually a fun challenge. And then
bet.
you're getting drunker as it goes along. It's getting even harder.
I need a straw.
That sounds like a good time. Or one of those, like a Camelback.
No, I need to just fill like a water bottle with alcohol, so it's harder to spill. That's what I
Ah,
needed to
there
do.
you go.
But I didn't want to get my straw all sticky.
Have you ever done yoga with the goats?
My rant about how much I hate goats is too long for this podcast.
Oh?
I have some
got
experiences
some history.
with goats.
Oh, no.
Because I used to ride horses and spend a lot of time on farms.
Gotcha.
And I'm
As some-
convinced anyone who thinks goats are cute has never actually met a goat.
As someone who used to ride horses, what is your critique of Leopold's form?
His form is great. However, it would be very, very difficult to ride a carriage horse because there'd be no saddle and there's like stuff in the way of where you normally sit. So
Also, the horse is not
they're
used to being
also
ridden.
I thought it was really clever though that they used the blanket on the horse's back to hide the fact that there was a saddle. He is very obviously wearing a saddle. You can see the outline of it. But I thought it was very clever of them, especially like they did the same thing in Lord of the Rings. They just use a white saddle on Shadowfax, and they hide it in Gandalf's outfit.
Interesting.
So you can kind of see it. If you really look, you can see that there is a white saddle that exactly matches his outfit on that horse.
Yes.
Because riding bareback is very hard.
Sure.
Horses are fucking slippery.
There's a reason.
Yeah, there's a reason why it's difficult, and that it's a pretty it's a advanced skill. Especially they jump in one thing. Jumping with two people on a horse would also be really hard. And mostly just riding tandem is also difficult and impractical. It's one of the things in books that I actually hate is when the whole like one horse trope. I'm like, you have never ridden a horse if you think that's sexy. Because you're either sitting pretty far behind a person because there's the back of the saddle in the way, or you're sitting on the front pommel of the saddle. And if the horse puts its head down, you're going off that thing like a damn slide. Like, there's basically nothing keeping you there, and you have, either way, parts that you're not supposed to sit on jamming you up.
Yeah, either the horn or the...
Either the horn or the pommel if it's an English saddle. But, like,
What's
saddles
the back
are made...
part of the saddle called?
You're driving up...
I thought you might know.
No, I remember the front is called the pommel. And
yeah, there's that ridge at the
yeah,
back.
No, there's
it's got a name.
And the
anyway.
port and the starboard.
Exactly,
and...
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Parts.
The bow truckle and the
saddle.
The brace beam.
I'll bet we're saying a lot of words that our audience doesn't know.
I would hope so. if you know those words. The cantle. That's
cantle,
it.
That's what it is.
There it
but
is.
like, even if you're using like a more like, saddles are really designed for one person, and they are designed to kind of help hold you in place. You don't actually want enough room for two people to sit in, because then you'd slide all over the place. He has good form. I also like that he buckles the horse back in for him. I think that was really cute. But yeah, just hopping on a carriage horse and like riding off on it would actually be very difficult.
I like to know that Wolverine can hang on a horse if he needs to.
I feel like Hugh Jackman
Apparently he learned
something of a horseman.
He learned to horseback ride for this movie.
Oh. Because didn't he do another movie where he was on a horse?
Maybe.
Like a Western? Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
We're not talking about saddles today. We actually already did saddles.
Yeah.
Kinda.
So sorry, Rachel, you can't talk about saddles. Josie and the Pussycats.
I love Josie and the Pussycats. Yes.
Those are actual screen used.
Andy Huddle and I
headsets.
have bonded over how much we love that movie.
It's a great movie.
It's amazing. It is
Okay,
underappreciated.
next April Fools, we got to get the two of you on to pretend there's time travel in Josie and the
there's time
Pussycats.
travel. There is a lot of gaslighting in that movie. So
That'll be
could
perfect.
definitely-
Well, okay, so here's what I wanted to do originally, and it didn't really work out with Bring It On, but what I wanted to do was have us imply the, like, any logical inconsistencies or plot holes were the result of time travel. Like, the only way that this guy got over here is time travel, or the only way that person knows that is time travel.
Wait, but then in Josie and the Pussycats, it would be that Eugene Levy is the time traveler.
Yeah, you think so?
Because he knows way more than he should know.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense.
I've been watching The Reluctant Traveler with Eugene Levy, and it's a gorgeous show cinematically, but also philosophically. It just makes me feel really good.
I've never even heard of it, but
It's a travel show, but
Okay.
Eugene Levy doesn't like to
doesn't
travel.
want to be there. Yeah.
So, like, they're making him do all these things that he normally wouldn't do, and he's just like, I guess I'll do it. And then he ends up loving it.
Did you see the interview ahead of time where he talked about that?
I saw a bunch of them. Which one are you talking about?
So somebody, I forget who was interviewing him, but he said, yeah, okay, so they pitched me this idea. And I was like, no, I would hate that. That sounds terrible. Please, no. And they were like, oh, okay, well, thanks so much for considering it. Have a nice day. And they hung up. And then they called him back like 20 minutes later. And he was like, actually, that does sound like it could be very entertaining for everyone else. Yes, let's do it.
I will sacrifice myself for other people's entertainment.
He talks repeatedly in the episode that I just watched about the Maldives, how Canadian he is. So I assume he just accepted out of the politeness of his Canadian heart.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's like,
probably.
oh, crap, did I actually say no?
They've asked twice. I can't say no now.
I am a little surprised that he's only talked about his son once in the show. Like, a longer conversation. Like, he's mentioned that he has a son and a daughter, but, like, he only talked about working with Dan once.
Oh, Dan
Does
Levy
his-
is his son?
Yeah.
Okay.
Does his daughter like also do show business or?
Yeah, she's also in Schitt's Creek.
Oh.
She's Lila.
I have never actually watched that show.
You should watch it.
Yeah, it's one of
It's
those
phenomenal.
things that everyone tells me to watch, and it's
Sure.
been so hyped up at this point. I'm actually really anxious to watch it. 'Cause
But,
I'm like,
like-
what if I don't like it? What if I disappoint all my friends?
What does that mean about me?
But, like, unlike things like Friends or oh god, there's so many things. Game of Thrones,
Frasier.
like, Frasier's amazing.
Oh.
Frasier and Cheers and Wings are some of the
gonna
best
have to
sitcoms.
Politely disagree with you about that one.
What don't you like about Frasier?
The misogyny.
Sure, every show back then had that.
No, but like with Frasier, I think there are certain shows like Friends and Frasier where you have to kind of have the nostalgia. Like you had to watch it when you were younger to still enjoy it as an adult.
I didn't.
Really?
Yeah, I watched it in college.
Oh man, so many of like I tried to watch Friends as an adult. I was like, this show's terrible. Oh, so homophobic.
Yes.
And then one of my old roommates dated a guy who was like obsessed with Frasier, and I would occasionally come home and he would be watching it, and I would like catch a random episode, and I was just like, I can't.
But the thing about Frasier is that he always gets his comeuppance. When he's wrong, he's outlandishly wrong and always gets
the show
what's coming
punishes
to
him.
him.
Just,
Yes.
maybe I also just kind of like maybe it's just something with the fact that I think like Kelsey Grammer just kind of rubs me the wrong
Sure,
way as like
that's
a
fair.
human being.
That's
And
fair.
I have definitely hit a point in my life where it's really hard for me to watch media that contains actors that I don't like as people. Like it's why I'm not looking forward to the next Guardians of the Galaxy movie at all. Is because I'm like, oh, Pratt. And
Yeah.
so like I want to like it because I like Marvel and I like the characters, but at this point I like people can argue as much as they want about whatever bullshit separate the art from the artist. I can't. So
Sure. This is a constant conversation that I have with Dave about separating art from the artist. And it's like, for me, it's like a spectrum, right? So like, I know that Kelsey Grammer, the person, is kind of shitty for being a Republican. But he hasn't... Among other things. But like, he hasn't done anything like so over the top terrible that would make him a bad person.
Yeah.
Right? As opposed to J.K. Rowling, you know, as the ultimate example, right?
There's definitely a spectrum.
Yeah.
But
So like I'm more willing to watch Frasier than I am rereading the Harry Potter books.
yeah,
You know?
I agree. And like for me, I don't know. It's for me personally, and everyone's entitled to their own like spectrum.
absolutely.
I think. And the fact that some people are able to make that separation is honestly probably healthy for their mental health. I'm not saying my way of handling it is good at all.
Yeah.
It's just that I've definitely like hit this wall where once I hear a bunch of negative stuff about an actor, like anything with Jared Leto in it is just ruined for me.
Yeah. Like with Guardians specifically. Like yes, I also do not like Chris Pratt as a person anymore. But he's not like Jonathan Majors, who actually had all that stuff come out about him. Like
I've never watched
Pratt
a
is
career
just
go up and go down.
so
Right
quickly.
in the
fast.
same week.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was such a shame.
I will be very curious to see how that pans out, though, because he's still insisting that he's innocent, and like,
Yeah, but he got dropped by his manager
Yeah.
and his PR
Oh, yeah,
team.
yeah.
That's a bad
bad
If they're not going to
If
stand
your-
by him,
If your
then
PR team that you pay lots of money to and probably also has Marvel money can't figure out how to spin this in your favor,
you fucked up. Yeah,
yeah.
that's a
boy.
very good point. I don't know. I don't want Jonathan Majors to be sullied. He was doing so well. I loved all the things he was in. He seemed so cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I really wonder how they're gonna move forward with him.
Because they have
Specifically.
he's going to be in Loki. They're already done shooting it.
Yeah.
It's pretty much done being edited right now.
They would have to like deep fake someone else's face onto him like they did. Or do what did they do for that weird zombie movie where they replaced somebody with Tig Notaro?
Well, he wasn't in that many scenes anyway, so they just,
They just
cut
mocapped
around
it,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, but if he's like the major player, and then like what are they gonna do in the long run with that character? Are they gonna recast it?
I mean,
or
it's
they-
got to be a Don Cheadle situation.
Yeah,
you know?
they're-
like
I wonder if they'll just do that. Yeah, like,
just replace him with somebody
yes,
else.
I'm
and-
Kang the Conqueror from an alternate universe. That other guy, I don't know, he
I
looked
mean,
different.
they didn't even need to say that it's from an alternate universe. You just carry on with this.
Basically,
I'm just
yeah.
saying, like,
Different
for him specifically, there's such this convenience of like there are 50 billion
Oh yeah,
Kangs.
you could say it's a variant or something.
Yeah.
I guess, but
the multiverse has made it infinitely easier to do things like that.
to recast. Well, you saw how fast. Did you see how fast Disney got rid of the guy who was cast as David in the live action Lilo and Stitch?
Oh yeah, it was what like
Oh,
He got-
yeah, that's
they
like
announced-
immediately.
They announced that he was cast. Like the next day, a bunch of stuff came out that he had made terrible racist remarks, and he was replaced the following day.
Yeah.
It was Disney is like not joking around anymore.
It's
true.
So I think with Marvel, we're gonna see the same thing where they're like,
Oh yeah. Now that like Perlmutter's gone, they have like no excuse to like put up with that bullshit.
Sorry, Mr. Majors, you fucked up.
Yeah, right. It's not that hard to be a decent person, you know? Like, I don't understand a lot of these people.
Okay, last thing before we start the episode. Who would you recast as Kang?
That's so hard.
it's so hard because honestly, I would like to see someone new again. Like Majors himself was fairly new.
Yeah, he'd
Like
When
done
they
a
cast
handful
him,
of
yeah.
things.
Only done a handful of things. He'd really the only like big thing he'd kind of done was that
Lovecraft.
Lovecraft show.
And he did that
Which was
Western on
phenomenal.
Netflix.
Oh yeah, I hadn't
Harder
watched
They
that
Fall?
one. Yeah, I
Warwick
heard it
loves
was
No, I
really
did
good.
not see that.
So I don't know.
Kevin Hart. No.
Oh god. Oh boy. Honestly, there's another guy who's in Harder They Fall who acts opposite him a lot. Who I don't think is already in Marvel, who could do a very good like
Oh, Lakeith Stanfield?
let me see his face.
That guy.
Yes. Cuz he was in what was it? Judith and the Black Messiah or something in the Black Messiah? He's
Yes,
great. He's
he was in
very
that.
Judas
I
and
was
the
thinking of
Judas and the
him.
Black Messiah. Thank you.
I was thinking of him in Sorry to Bother You.
Yeah, no,
Oh.
he's
He's also in Get Out
very
and Atlanta.
talented. Yeah, so someone like that could be great because he's just super skilled. Like he'd bring a lot of good energy to it, and I feel like he could play that kind of charming yet diabolical that we've seen from Kang so far. Slightly omnipotent yet dashing.
That could totally work. Oh man.
I keep coming back to LeVar Burton, and I don't know why.
He's a bit old now.
He is a bit old.
Sure, who cares? Kang is thousands of years old, right?
Yeah, and isn't LeVar like just slightly older?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I love LeVar.
Our
Burton.
entire
timeless man.
Yeah, right? I think just because he did such an amazing job in Picard this season.
Oh my god,
really
Picard
want
is
more
so
of him.
good.
That show.
When you get to it, it will reward you.
Well, it has my bisexual awakening in it, so
Uh-huh.
I need to go back for her.
Have you watched any of it?
No, we don't have any of the streaming services it's on, so
Fair enough.
we haven't been able to check it out on anything.
They're all good. Season 3 is ridiculous.
Season 3 is what everyone thought it was going to be.
It's, well, more to the point, it's what we all actually wanted.
Right.
Like the other 2 seasons were good, but this is what we all wanted. Let's just call it what it is.
I did want slightly more of what happened in season 1. Like I wanted it to connect more. But like I was saying before, like we didn't get I always want to call him Elrond, and that's not it.
Elnor, yeah.
Why do I want to call him Elrond?
I mean, because that's a better name.
Has Janeway showed up at any point in it?
She hasn't.
She gets mentioned, but she's
does
in
get
2 other
name dropped,
shows.
yeah.
So
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I love her.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil too much for you, but there
Okay.
are some things
Yeah.
that we will talk about when you've seen it.
Okay.
All right.
Admiral Janeway now, right?
Admiral
Yeah.
Janeway, yes.
As she should be.
Everybody's an admiral now.
What's his name? Oh my god, why am I blanking on his name?
Tuvok.
Harry.
Kim?
Yeah,
Harry Kim is an ensign still. Let's
He's
Forever.
he's not an admiral.
no, not that guy. No,
Tom Paris, not an admiral,
probably not.
Probably not.
but a plate.
I feel like he's retired and is a family
He's
man
got
now.
the plate. Yeah.
So there's another show on Paramount Plus called Lower Decks, which takes
Yeah.
place. Oh, okay.
I've
So
heard of it. I've never
So
seen it.
good.
yeah, Tom Paris guest stars on an episode as a plate.
Is he?
Which caused them to make Tom Paris plates. You
Yeah.
can now get them.
I kind of want
I-
one. I don't even like Tom Paris as a character, but I want the plate for the
So-
Lower Decks gag.
So there's a Star Trek cookbook.
Oh yeah, Dave has
And-
it, right?
Really?
I
There's
think.
a Star Trek cookbook, and it's organized not by like show or like race of creature, but by characters.
Oh,
And
interesting.
so, like, one of Tom Paris's delicacies is pizza. Like, and it's
Oh my
specifically
God.
like kind of shitty microwave pizza.
Go to the store, buy this brand.
Basically. No, it's how to make it,
Oh,
but
okay,
it is
okay.
like how to make a kind of shitty, like personal pan pizza that isn't like a very flat crust. Just slather whatever you want on there.
Amazing.
It's pretty funny. Yeah, and I just remember. But yeah, a lot of the major characters have like their own
That's cool.
like sections about like what kind of foods they would. It's a very cute cookbook.
I mean, that makes sense. It's something that comes up in the show a lot.
And I feel like if you focused too much on the like alien foods, but they finally show you how to make a raptaggino and like
Really?
stuff like that. You're like, oh, that's what it is. But yeah, and like one of the recipes, like Picard has like a tea Earl Grey hot recipe that's just how to steep a cup of Earl Grey tea. It's like, you know, it's pretty.
Hugh Grant recently did a how to make a cup of tea thing.
Hugh Grant, who ran out of fucks to give.
Oh my god!
Like,
All of his interviews during the like press tour for the Dungeons and Dragons movie
exactly.
are bananas.
Yep. He just fully gave up.
He's like, I did this movie. I have no idea what it was about.
I said
But
all the words in the
I
right
am
order.
very handsome in it. And you can see Chris Pine sitting next to him like, yeah, you? Yeah.
Chris Pine's just looking into his future. That's
Well, it's funny because he talks about, like, I forget which actor he said, but it was somebody who worked with a lot in the, like, 90s, 2000s.
It was Sandra Bullock.
He says, yeah, well, she's tried to make me tea many, many times. And I had to stop her, and I had to redress. I said, okay, you must take the tea and put it in the cup, and then you must boil the water, and while it's still boiling, you must pour it over the tea bag. Which just made it that much funnier when I saw the movie, and he's the whole bit about the tea being way too hot. He's like, oh, you are acting. Well done, sir.
I just upgraded my copy of Music and Lyrics from full screen to widescreen, and I'm like, I could use more Hugh Grant in my life right now.
Charming fellow.
So is Mickey Mouse soon, right?
Probably not.
Never.
No, I mean like
You know,
Disney.
the shenanigans they're pulling, though.
Oh, that's right. They're trying to pull some shit.
They put him in the logo. So the logo for Walt Disney Animation is now the first, like, however many frames of Steamboat Willie.
Oh yeah.
And logos do not have an end of life.
I'm just really excited that they're suing Ron DeSantis.
I mean, yeah. I don't need them to win, but I need Ron DeSantis to lose.
Did you see that Onion headline that was like Goofy beats Ron DeSantis with a crowbar?
I didn't, but that's very good.
It's amazing.
Just Goofy holding a bloody crowbar.
Here for it. I don't normally like rooting for
Goofy?
the greatest capitalistic
I know, right? It
horror
feels
empire
icky.
of our generation, but in this specific situation, I will root for them.
I mean, you're a big Disney fan, right?
I am, but I also understand they're evil.
Sure. Evil is such a strong word.
Is it though?
Oh,
Is
God.
it?
Like,
They bring so much joy and so much pain.
it's true. That does happen.
Yeah, are you evil by your intention or by your acts? And does your totality affect by your parts?
They have Disney manages to have no fly zones in the U.S. over their parks.
Mm-hmm. You know,
In California!
You know, no one has ever died at Disney, officially speaking.
They have to take them outside.
They take them outside before they declare them dead.
That's actually
Which is
entirely
that
true,
is some
but
dystopian shit. Like, no, you may have died on the Matterhorn, but you died over
no,
there, my
that's
friend.
actually not entirely true.
Is it?
No, yeah, it's a Disney myth.
Oh man.
There are people who
I
definitively
totally bought that
died on thing, but they do try. Like,
Oh, okay. If they can
and
manage
they
it,
make
they're gonna get you
very difficult for you to die on site. Including, they also don't want dead people there because so many people try to spread ashes at Disney, and they do not like it.
off. I've definitely heard the stories about how many times they have to shut down the haunted mansion.
Shut down the rides, vacuum you up, throw you in the trash. That is all that will happen to people's ashes if you try to spread them at Disney.
That's why you either A, spread a small amount, or B, spread it in the greenery outside. so that you're part of the dirt.
Yeah, you kind of have to not spread it on the rides.
Mm-hmm.
Those are more heavily monitored than you think they are.
Have you seen the documentary? Oh my god, I always fuck up the name.
We
of
almost started an episode without a digression.
Talk about
Since
Disney.
when?
Just now.
That never happens. I just sent this documentary to a friend because I was recommending it. Remain Seated, Please. A Hoot and Chief story. So it's about these two friends who go onto the Horizons ride. And basically they figured out a spot in the ride where there's no camera. So you can get off. And they would like explore the ride and like catalog it by taking pictures and stuff.
What?
And they would
That's
do this for
fascinating.
years. But really, the documentary is about friendship, and it made me very sad. But it's
still-
very good.
Wow.
Mildly scarred with the time we got trapped on the Cars ride.
Oh yeah, what happens?
Oh my god! So
Wait,
yeah.
first, where did you get stuck on the ride?
So you've ridden the Cars ride at
have.
Disneyland.
Mm-hmm.
When we're inside, it was right after like Mater comes at you with the big bull tractor.
Yes.
And the car's like right about to speed up. The ride broke down.
Oh.
And so we're sitting there, and it's me and my friend and a couple of people in the back seat of the car, and we're just hanging out, and we're in the dark, and everything's kind of frozen in place, and we're just sitting there, and it's dark. We're just sitting there. We don't know what's happening. We're like, are we gonna go? 20 minutes later, they decide to let us know that it's broken down by turning on all the lights. And that really shatters the image.
It really
for
does.
ya.
Yeah.
You wanna have the magic of Disneyland just destroyed in a second. Be on one of the rides when they turn all the lights on.
Alternatively, I like
Dark
it.
for a reason, I'm guessing.
Yes.
Oh yeah, everything is painted to only be viewed in the dark.
Alternatively, I enjoy watching videos of Halloween Horror Night mazes with the lights on. Because I like seeing all the mechanics of stuff
Yeah.
that
Sure.
go into the, the scares and everything. So I think that's kind of fun. But like when you're on the ride, it's
Yeah.
like that definitely does kill a little bit. Except when you're on It's a Small World, because when it breaks down, it all keeps going.
Oh no.
You just keep hearing
Oh
the
yeah.
song.
No, when we got at Disney
That's
World,
the
we
real
also
horror show.
got trapped for a little while on the Finding Nemo ride, and we just got stuck watching the same
Yep.
clip. A Dory just on repeat.
Just
for
keep
like
swimming. That's what you gotta do.
Very
15
plausible.
minutes a Dory. It's pretty impressive. She had about 10 minutes of stuff
Oh.
Wow.
prepped, and then
Nice.
then it finally started to repeat, and then we started moving in. We were like, oh man.
See, I love that stuff about Disney. I love seeing how prepared they are for stuff like that. Like with Phantasmic, when the dragon breaks down, they have an effect on the mist as like the bee dragon. Because recently Maleficent caught on fire.
Oh no.
So
Oh no.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, it's bad. It was
real
dramatic.
bad. Like it was blowing up bad. Like so in the shows after that, they had to use the mist effect, which isn't as cool, but
Still good.
dragon blowing up.
I think everyone will understand.
Yeah, right.
Everyone should understand dragons playing it.
Yes, but I remind me later to send you a link to Remain Seated, Please.
Okay.
There are actually
Great.
2 really good Disney documentaries on YouTube, because there's a ton of great theme park people on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
But there's another one from Defunctland
Ooh.
about the Disney Channel jingle.
Oh yeah, you told us about that before.
So Defunctland wanted to find out who wrote that music, and he had to
Okay.
go through this whole long thing of trying to find out. But it's really about like an artist's relationship to their art and when you feel like a real artist. It really hit me hard. Like I wasn't expecting it. I was just like, yeah, this dude did the song. But it wasn't that simple, and it turned out to be a really compelling documentary.
Do you know that the woman who designed the monster from the Black Lagoon got her animation start working for Disney?
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
what?
She was an inker.
Book is
Cool.
really good.
That book is really good. Yeah, there's a like memoir history nonfiction-y book.
It's a biography.
Biography, yeah, called The Lady from the Black Lagoon.
Oh, cool.
It's all about the woman who actually created it and didn't get any credit because men and the patriarchy.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, she was one of the animators that was mostly responsible for Chernobog and taking it back to Fantasia.
And the butts. You never see
and some of the
Chernobog's butts, though.
You don't.
No.
Although you
Some
do.
skeleton butts.
You do.
Back of pelvises.
You know Chernobog has real cake.
Oh,
Just-
yeah, definitely.
He has a Funko Pop, so you can see his butt that way.
Oh, there you go.
All right. Well, you can find us on the internet. I'm at bsilverio20 on Instagram, Twitter, and Hive.
I'm Rachel Granda-Gluski, and I am Orion Has Moxie on Instagram and A Wandering Reed on TikTok.
I am at Indecisionist on Twitter and at The Indecisionist on Instagram.
Special thanks to April Moralba for our podcast art and to Marlon Longett of Marlon and the Shakes for our amazing theme song. This has been an Indecisionist production. Head on over to indecisionist.com/time2party to check out all of our show notes and transcripts of episodes.
You can use the hashtag time2party to join in on the conversation. That's time, the number 2 party.
As well as hashtag time the number 2 party, all one word. Spell down. Thank you, Warren.
So while we consider costumes for our evil personalities, I want to remind you to be excellent to each other.
And party on, dude. Wow.